champion. Fimsidecarcross, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Well, this is it. This is what it's all about. The wind has got up with a vengeance. The clouds have rolled in, but we've got the good solid assurance that the weather's going to stay set fair for the rest of today and indeed into tomorrow. A good crowd is beginning to make its way into this circuit at Loket. Welcome to this part of the Czech Republic for the first of our two qualifying races here. My name's Barry Nutley, alongside me Bradley Hicks, and we've been working together on and off on this championship now certainly over 3 years. A very difficult 3 years, I have to say, but now the WSC World Sidecarcross Championship is back with a bang, and we've got 6 rounds already won under our belts from Markelo. We're here in Loket in the Czech Republic to get the second one underway, and this, the first live action in true racing, which is the old format whereby we have 2 qualifying races to decide the grid for 2 Grand Prix races, which will take place tomorrow. The riders favour these qualifying races because they like to get a good race under their belts, get to know the track under racing conditions rather than going against the clock. And I have to say, the track has held up really, really well indeed after a very heavy overnight storm which drenched the local area, left water standing around the track, destroyed some of the infrastructure in terms of tents and marquees were pretty much ripped apart. But overnight, the teams got themselves sorted out, got themselves checked in, nice and cosy, had a good night's sleep, and we've already, Bradley, seen some good on-track action from both the sidecars and the quads, have we not?
We certainly have. Looking at the timings from the earlier 2 sessions, the Group A and the Group B time-free practice, I'm really looking forward to this qualifying race of the Group A's because the times are looking so close between all of the guys inside the top 6, top 8, or thereabouts, but with a few surprise names in there as well. So can they keep their good form going on from not only earlier on in the day but also Markelo as well? We'll have to wait and see. But coming through the picture there was the green and pink of number 199 Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard as our crews get redirected towards the starting gate. But as I mentioned, Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, 3rd in the championship coming into this weekend after a great set of results in Markelo just 4 weeks ago, and having some success in the British Championship as well, leading that particular championship, I believe, equal on points with Stuart Brown and Josh Chamberlain. But either way, 2022 is a good year so far for Wilkinson and Millard.
Certainly started strongly. Brett's had a pretty torrid time over the last 3 seasons in terms of injury, and it's good to see him back. Right, okay then, here we go. Etienne Bac's Andrei Chermak. Well, yeah, what an aspiration that young Czech has got. Young Czech, mature Czech, riding with the reigning world champion in front of his local crowd. Brett Wilkinson, Millard having moved over from the chair of Jake Brown, Julian Velman, Glenn Janssens, Chermak, of course, having moved across to Etienne Bax, Jake Brown, Paul Horton. So the top 4 have all changed passengers. Marco Heinze, Rudy Betchart, a bit of consistency there. 93, Gordiev, Kasper Stupilis, that's a new lineup. Sanders Rostang, Foden, Nathan Cooper, the Prunier boys, what a lineup they've got and how quick are they. Kinjan Phelps rounding out the top 10.
11th down to 18th then is Michael Hodges and Jack Wilkinson, younger brother of Brett Wilkinson. Koen Hermans, Nicolas Mousset are there, listed as being 12th ahead of Joachim Royman and Martin Betchard. Then it's Romaric and Jocelyn Chantelou, the French pairing there, number 40 ahead of Vekoda. Tim Leffering, Costas Paleskas ahead of Robert Diblik and Michael Gabor, interestingly enough listed as riding a gas with Stacey and Alex van der Velde, the number 1, 2, 3 rounding out in 18.
And what's interesting there, of course, Bradley, is with 18 riders in each of these races, we are going to have a last chance.
We certainly are. We certainly are.
There, 151 Gordiev and Kasper Stupilis, the Estonian rider with Russian heritage, as I've said many times, but Kasper Stupilis last year, of course, had intended to do a full World Championship, reunited with Daniel Williamson, but a certain COVID pandemic and one or two other issues threw that into disarray, and now he's settled for a, dare I say, a steadier job?
That's on your head. But certainly, they're doing a good job this weekend, as the Estonian and the Latvian there of Gert and Kaspers. Just in front of them, we saw the number 3 of Koen Hermans back this season with Nicolas Mousset, who, of course, they finished second in the championship in 2018 and third in the 2019 championship. Parted ways for 2021, of course, Nicolas Mousset, reigning champion, with Etienne Bax, and Koen Hermans alongside Glenn Janssens last year as well, finishing just outside the top 3.
Yeah, not the best year for them. 94, that's the Prunier boys, and they've got a very impressive lineup. A couple of outfits, Kylian Evon, French, of course. Brothers, I have to go and confirm that, but it's a 90% chance they are brothers, so I think we're on pretty safe ground there. Number 9, Davy Sanders. Davy Sanders with Luc Rostang. So Sanders, the Belgian. Ian van Luken are waving the flag very much for Belgium.
Davy Sanders, of course, had an injury last year in the first round of Yinin, and they believe he broke, I think it's either his forearm or a bone within the hand/wrist area, but either way, put him out for contention throughout the rest of the season.
That was a big one on the start-finish straight, wasn't it?
It was.
And there, Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak, of course. An awful lot of local fans will be in here supporting the passenger, who's now in his late 30s and professes to be absolutely thrilled to come back and ride with the reigning champion, with his lifelong ambition of becoming world champion himself, standing a very good chance of being fulfilled.
Absolutely, they're going the right way about it. Of course, they took overall victory back in Markelo. I'm not quite sure what number victory that was for Etienne, but for Andre Chermak, that was his 3rd in World Sidecar Cross. But certainly looking to add to that tally this year.
Now the frog. There he is. Julian Veldman with a very interesting looking fuel tank. You can soon see whether that's running out of gas or not. Julian Veldman, number 31, not riding this year the CPD chassis. Seems to have handed that down to his younger brother. Yeah,
that was the only CPD frame that was being made for him, so he couldn't go and get a new one. So once that was gone, it's gone. This year, I believe he's gone to WSP.
He's on SP. He's on a Willemsen bike, but maintaining the Mega engine, which he is the one and only development rider for, but his younger brother is also using Mega, which is good.
Yeah, we saw Sam out there in Markelo doing a good job there, just outside the top 10. Of course, Sam Veldman driving now, but back in Rudersberg in 2019, he was passengering Julian Veldman. And if memory serves, he had a slight off as well when he was just a 16-year-old man.
There a bit of strong discussion between WSC officials and the organisers here. Bit of finger pointing, a bit of wagging, but if you're going to make the point, you might as well do it properly, I guess.
I'd agree with you there. You have to get your point across.
Look at the start finish. You're facing it now. They rush up there into an uphill climb and a tight left-hander, and that's where an awful lot of the crowd are along that bank, because there's a very good vantage point on the terracing here where you can see out over the circuit, and you can see by the way the flags are going and the flag poles are bending, the strength of the wind. We can hear it in our effects mic quite significantly.
Well, yesterday when we got to the circuit, or when I got to the circuit, because of course you've been here since Wednesday, but when I got here it was listed as being 27, 28 degrees Celsius, and well, that thunderstorm soon came and changed things. Just through the trees there, we can see the just a little bit of the town of Loket there.
Beautiful castle. Loket featured in a remake of the 2006 Casino Royale James Bond film, where it mirrored, in fact, was depicting Montenegro. So I have to assume the architecture here is very similar to that in Montenegro. It was a quiet part of the Czech Republic where the film crew could carry on what they needed to do in and around the town, out in the surrounding countryside. It also featured in a Dutch reality TV game called Come and Find the Mole. Now, what's that is all
I was
about?
just about to say, what does that entail, Barry?
No. One assumed there was a spy somewhere in the town and the rest of the people had to unearth him. But Come and Find the Mole, and this is where it was set here in Loket. And I can say, do come to Loket if you're ever in the Czech Republic. Come and have a look at the town. It's quite a strong Russian population. It's quite busy, but it's set in the most magnificent countryside, as you can see. Teams now, Bradley making their way to the line, but with only 18 in this qualifying race, Group A. Look, what did I say? Where would you start? What did I say? In the middle.
What is interesting is that it looks like Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset have gone towards the inside quarter, whereas Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak have chose the direct middle gate.
Yeah, well, you have to be confident with getting it off the line there. If you do, it is the shortest route and you'll save yourself a few meters. That is definite. So the middle is the place to be. That's what I thought there. Julian Veldman, has he pulled up hard on the left?
That is a very interesting question. It looks as though that could well be the case there. Julian Veldman and Glenn Janssens on the left-hand side with Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset. There is Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupalis, the Estonian and the Latvian.
They have to be thinking they can get it off the line. Pruniers, Davy Sanders, number 9, and Luc Rostang.
There's Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak, reigning world champion, 4 times the world champion in previous seasons is Etienne Bax. Andre Chermak, just 3 GP victories to his name thus far.
Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, having moved over from the chair of Jake Brown. Number 93 there, Marco Heinz, Rudy Betchart. There's Lefferink, Tim Lefferink and Kostas Beletskas.
Next up is the number 48 of Thomas and Jakub Vekolda, the local pairing on their WSP KTM. Alongside them, the number 92 of Dan Foden and Nathan Cooper. 6 UK crews here this weekend, and it would look as though about half of them are in this one, the remaining half in Group B. What
strikes me is that we know it's a qualifying race, so you've got to do well to get your position on the line. But if you're going to try an experimental slot, this is the race to do it in.
It certainly is. You only get one chance.
Yes.
There is George Kinge and Dan Phelps, another British crew there, the number 177.
Romaric Chanteloup there completing the lineup. But yes, on the extreme right as you look at it, we have Julian Veldman and Glenn Janssens. Alongside them, Koen Hermans. Then it's Gordiev. Very interesting. Watch Bax in the middle, right under the Denicol, the number 83, right in 82, right in the middle. And alongside him, Brett Wilkinson with a left-hand chair, so he'll be dragging towards Bax's right-hand chair. They've left a respectable distance between the sidecar wheels. That's what you do. Watch the gate then. Watch the gate go. Underway they go, and a great start from the inside by Julian Veldman. Where's Bax? Is it mid-pack? Has he been gobbled up? It's Julian Veldman and Glenn Janssens into the top. Did they all get round? 18 of them. Yes, they have. Miracle upon miracles. They are round. That is absolutely amazing. Etienne Bax, he now knows that he's got to get the thing off the line if he's going to choose that parking space. Right then. Now, Wilkins up there in 5th. Bax is in the middle of the pack. He's about 8th, 9th place at the moment, so he's going to have to work for it. There's a lesson learned there, isn't there?
There absolutely is. Down the street, steep drop then into this left-hander. I'll tell you what, it was a good start there from the number 94 crew of Kilian and Ivan Prunier. They slotted up into 3rd place on the exit of the first turn. Further down the order there, we've got a few of the British crews, but there is Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak. What a terrible start they have had. They are behind the number 90 of Robert Diplik and Mikhail Gabor. But there is our race leader at the present moment. Kern Hermans and Nicholas Mousset up next. Then it's the Pruniers ahead of Davy Sanders and Luke Ross-Stang. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard in 6th.
There's Wilkinson. Then Bax is just one place behind them. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard in the distinctive green and pink. I love them. We can pick them up. We know who they are, don't we? And round they come. 18 through. There's Jake Brown. Jake Brown. Paul Horton doing the honours for him. So that's a great change there, and he said we've settled in pretty well. Haven't gone too strongly in the British Championship, but they're doing okay. Ahead of them, Gordiev and Kasper Stupilis. Then it's Bax then. But Stupilis is riding along there thinking, there's my old driver. There's, oh dear, he's not doing so well, is he? He's only just in front of us. Well, there's work to do here, but this is 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes plus
2 laps. There's Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak then, just behind Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard. So I suspect they are in 7th place because Wilkinson and Millard were there in 6th as they came across the line on the previous lap.
No need for watering. Mother Nature did that firmly overnight. Wilkinson now getting a bit held up, but Bax is now looking at the inside of Brett Wilkinson. Up they come then to complete the opening lap. Across the top of the start-finish straight. Veldman already gone, Herman's already gone. Then the rest of them making their way through. Bax on the back wheel of Wilkinson and Joe Millard. And still ahead of them, it's Prunier boys looking strong as well. There they are.
Prunier boys in 3rd place and just ahead of the number 9 of Davy Sanders and Luke Ross-Stang with Marco Heinz and Rudy Betchart, the first of the left-hand shares, ahead of Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak, who have now got the better of Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, as you mentioned. Well, I'll tell you what, they're not going down without a fight. They looked at the inside into that tight right-hander.
They did. There was plenty of opportunity. They obviously thought that Bax would get tangled up with a 93 out in front. Was that 93 or 95? 93. Marco Heinzer. Marco Heinzer is ahead of Bax now. This is a great battle. Heinzer indeed with a left-hand chair, as we suspected he has. Wilkinson and Millard fighting all the way, but Bax now got to have it. He's got to have a go. He's got to get past now just to see what he's capable of. He's on the inside, and it's not really enough room for 2 outfits round here. An awful lot of this track just meeting the FIM minimum width standard, but certainly at the moment, and you've got to avoid getting filled in as well. You do not want to get filled in going through that standing water. Wilkinson has got second wind.
He certainly has, but all this is doing is just letting the front 3-4 crews just go off into the distance. Look at that, they're already out of the over the jump and out of sight. 4th place still Davy Sanders and Luke Ross-Stang, but Etienne Bax and Andre Chermak, we may only be 1.5 laps into this encounter, but they'll get a little bit impatient as Marco Heinzer and Rudy Bitchart. That was a slight mistake there, but they've kept it all together.
That looked tricky. That was potentially dodgy as well. The bike was a little bit high up on the bank. That had the makings of a nose-over job. As you came off the bank, that could have gone nose down and tail light, and that's not a good way to be. You've got to keep the tyres on the dirt rather than tyres pointing at the sky.
Now this is where the track opens up ever so slightly, but it's a short run up to that, what is the first turn off of the gate here. Now there's plenty enough room here before them to make a move, but they're on the outside, and I don't think they'll be able to make it work for this time around. Through the picture go the Prunier pairing. There is Marco Heinzer taking a long look to his right-hand side to get a face full of the red plate, number 82,